What is up, Maz here. In today's video we will be taking care of my better half's car because the driver's seat looks like hell, and also the right rear passenger seat. There was some sort of accident with an ice cream. That is why you never eat anything in a car. What we will be doing today then is to go through some steps on how to actually clean the seats. And I have a new toy that I want to test out as well. And in general, it is rather simple to do this by yourself with simple tools. You don't need any machines, etc. for several thousand of dollars to do so. However, then again, gadget freak as I am, so I have a toy which I want to try out when we are cleaning the cloth seats then. Without any further ado, let's get on with the video. Alright, let's have a look at the damage and what we have to work with. I'm not sure if this comes through, but you can see there's a long stain here. I'm not sure where that is actually coming from, but we need to remove it. I don't know if it looks more clear in this angle here. You can see it starts right here and it goes all over the seat more or less. So that is what we have to work with in the front. Looking at the rear seat, this looks really bad. My son dropped his ice cream and I'm not sure what happened after that. It was like, yeah, I dropped my ice cream, and he was like, yeah, just let it be. We'll take care of it when we get home. Or so. The rules are very different in my cars compared to mommy's car apparently, so we are where we are. The next step is then I will show you which tools I will be using. Before we start with any cleaning, the first step is to vacuum the seats thoroughly so we don't have any other type of gunk which we can smear out, etc. or whatnot. Or actually, if you have some gravel or sand for some reason, then that will be an abrasive which potentially can damage your cloth. Or if you have leather seats and if you're doing some sort of cleaning to your leather seats, you could end up with the same type of issue, or even worse actually. Talking about which tools and chemicals, etc. you need to clean your cloth seats, it's not that much you need. I do recommend that you do use some sort of a fiber shampoo or interior cleaner, a specific product for cloth seats or cloths. I will be trying out Sonax interior shampoo for the first time, so let's see how that works. I also have a scrubbing pad and I have different type of brushes which I will be using. You could, instead of the interior shampoo, use laundry detergent or actually dish soap, but I wouldn't recommend that. It is better to pick up something that is intended for this purpose and it won't cost you more than $10 or so, and you are good to go. Let's briefly talk about my new toy. Or actually, it's not mine because I said we can use this for the carpets in the house or the sofas, etc. So it is shared, but it is mine. It is mine. So what this is the Bissell, I don't know, Spotclean Pro. It is actually similar to Pro machines, but what this lacks specifically is that a Pro machine actually heats the water up. So what you do with this is that you fill this container with water or your cleaning solution, and you press this button here and it will actually squirt or spray the product you have in here. And at the same time, this is a vacuum cleaner then, so it will suck up all that water which it's squirted on. And the idea is that you spray the water or the solution you have in here, and that works its magic in the cloth, and then the vacuum part sucks up all the dirty water which is on your cloth seat or carpet or sofa and whatnot. And then you have a container where the sucked up water then gets trapped. we will put down a light mist in sections of the seat, and also we just don't want to do one portion of it because that portion will actually have a different color than everything else, and that will look like a stain in itself. So we actually have to do the whole area. And also I mentioned then we want to put down a light mist so we don't oversaturate anything and cause other type of problems. And then we will work our way in circles with this small interior brush. If need be, I will be using my scrubbing pad and or a harder brush then for the purpose in order to achieve what we need to achieve. I have now off camera thoroughly vacuumed the seat. I will start with the back seat because it's more fun, because this stain really gives me a scratch in my eye. And I actually did a test spot and I found that it was better to actually use the scrubbing pad instead of the brushes because the brushes were not aggressive enough, so to speak. So I will actually then be using the scrubbing pad. Similar to your paint, you want to start off with the least aggressive method and then go more aggressive as need be. So I'll just put a light mist of the product in one section and then we'll work our way through the whole seat. I have not worked with this product before. As you can see, it doesn't give any suds. I don't want to overdo it. So we'll start off with the amount I just applied. And then if need be, we'll have to go over it again. And I will briefly talk about how you can actually then dry the product up to the best of our ability. Dry up the seat with the microfiber cloth. Or if you have a tool such as the spot cleaner, which I have, then you can use that to try to suck up as much as possible. With this type of machine then, you want to pull the trigger and go in this direction, release the trigger and go in this direction in order to try to sucking up as much of the product as possible. I will actually not be squirting any water or spraying any water because I can feel it's rather damp now. So I will be trying to suck up as much residue as possible before we continue with the rest of the seat. If you don't have a machine that can suck up water, you can use a microfiber cloth trying to suck up as much of the moist as possible by simply pressing down and working your way over the surface. However, depending on how old your car is and what type of cloth seats, etc., you might want to take some precaution when doing so. This is a modern car with modern type of fabric, so I don't have to be worried from that perspective then. This doesn't come through, I think, but this is actually a bit damp now, even though I'm doing this right after I went over it with the spot clean then. Let's have a look at the results, and as you can see, this looks really good. It's as if the stain never was there, which we had that went across the seat. Let's have a look on the rear seat as well, and then we'll wrap it up. This is how the rear seat looks. As you can see, the stain is no longer there. It was a big blob of yuck on the whole seat there, and it looks as good as new. I have done all 4 seats and it took me around an hour and a half or so with filming and so on. So it's nothing that will take a whole day. So I definitely recommend this method. One thing I would like to mention before we go on is that if you have the possibility to have a dehumidifier, use it. I will use this in our garage here now, and this will be on all night and the car will be sitting here, and the temperature in here is around 22 degrees Celsius. I'll put a text on how many degrees Fahrenheit that is. Hopefully by tomorrow we have dry seats. They are still a little bit damp, even though I was using the spot clean to suck up any residue, moist, etc. Alright, we have now reached the end of the video. As you saw, the results are really satisfying and we were able to do so in a relative short amount of time, and also with simple tools, with a dedicated cleaning product, some brushes, etc. And if you don't have a machine like the spot cleaner, you can use microfiber cloth to try to suck up any excess water or moist, etc. And I can just show you, it's not that much that I've been caught up in this, but can you see that color? That's nothing you want to drink, is it? With regards to the spot cleaner, I'm not sure, I need to give it some more tries. With regards to the suction capability, I would expect it to have actually sucked up more water than this. But with that said, we just did a light mist of the cleaner, so it wasn't that much water for it to actually suck up. With that said then, ladies and gentlemen, if you have any questions, just hit me up in the comment sections below and I will try to answer them the best I can. See you on the next one.